All right, let's see if this works this time. Damn it. Hopefully people come back. Looks like it, Jamal. I think we're working. Thanks for coming back. Jesus Christ. Trying to learn this new phone is going to piss me off. It's actually a good thing I was frozen. That way y'all didn't hear all the F-bombs I dropped. Hey, Scott, what's up, man? Hang on, I got to confirm my doctor's appointment for tomorrow. I'm not doing that right now. I'm busy. How y'all doing? Now that we're back, take my glasses off. Maybe finish my cold coffee. I can't make up my mind if it's just Spectrum that hates me or if it's actually YouTube. Oh, yeah, everything's okay. I got this thing here on my neck. They're going to do an ultrasound just to make sure. When I was a kid, my brother had one on this side. It was just an inactive lymph node. And they ended up taking it out. I think that's what this may be. So we're going to get an ultrasound tomorrow just to make sure. No, I'm crazy healthy. Oh no, there has been so many great pictures that we can't just forget about. Randy Jackson was amazing, and my favorite thing is him killing that bird. What are the odds that he would hit that bird and kill it like that? But yeah, just the art of pitching. And Greg, like I said, Greg Maddux was the GOAT. I mean, he knew the batters. They said he kept a book and knew what everyone chased. I never seen it, but I heard about it. Yay. All right, so Mickey's back. Jamal's here. Scott came in. But yeah, Scott, I'm extremely healthy. I recently beat diabetes. I have not had insulin in over 6 months now. I just got my eyes checked. My eyes are good. I mean, I have a slight stigmatism, but there's no diabetes in my eyes. All the vessels look good. So I just like to stay on top of stuff. I've seen people let stuff slide and all of a sudden, and then everybody wants to act surprised. Yes, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I did it all on my own through research and went back to being a vegetarian. I do intermittent fasting, so I only eat twice a day. I work out. I take a handful of vitamins. But I worked really hard to beat it because as soon as I found out I had it, that was my number one goal, is to beat it. I figure I beat, I say Girl Scout cookies. If you ain't been around my channel long enough, it's not Girl Scout cookies. It rhymes with Beth. Beth. I beat a 2-year addiction to that without medical help. I beat alcoholism. I beat cigarettes. Hey, that's not good, Mickey. I mean, if you haven't always been an easy bruiser, I would say go to the doctor, but I would say first just start digging in, doing some research. There's a wealth of knowledge out there. That's how I beat diabetes, because the doctors don't want you to beat it. They had me on Ozempic for a while, metformin, and insulin. I quit Ozempic, I quit metformin, and then I weaned myself off of insulin. But yeah, a little over 6 months now. All right, cool. Yeah, make sure you get that checked out, dude, because that's not a good sign. I mean, I don't want to just start spitting shit out and scaring you. Just see what your doctor says. But always, always, always do your own research too. I've learned that from doctors. I try not to give medical advice. I'm good at helping people beat addiction, overcome fear, gain self-confidence, that kind of stuff. But I used to work with a lot of people. I ain't worked with anybody in a long time. No, I have absolutely no symptoms. Like I said, I just got my eyes checked yesterday, and there's no sugar in my eyes. All my blood vessels are good and strong. Everything's clear except for the little stigmatism in this eye. It's just a little spot. But no, I don't have any signs of it. I don't obsessively drink or have the weight I've lost, I worked off. Because see, I'm the kind, when I first got diabetes, I didn't know I had it. I just started losing weight. And when I got to where I was losing 10 pounds a week, I went to the doctor. I told my wife, if I hit this number, I'll go to the doctor. And I hit that number in a week. And I realized I was drinking a gallon of water, a gallon of lemonade, and a gallon of tea every single day. I didn't know that was a sign of diabetes. That's part of it, Mickey. The weight is definitely part of it, but it also has a lot to do with your organs, the health of your organs. Because I was not super big. My worst, I got up to 285, but I carried it really well. I see how fat I was, but other people didn't believe I was 285, and I don't know how the hell they didn't believe that. I actually just threw away a whole bunch of clothes. I cannot believe at one point I was wearing XXX. A lot of double X's, it depended on the clothes. But a lot of double X fit, but I did buy a lot of triple X. I did take some of my shirts that could be tailored, and I had them tailored down. My way of showing them shirts. Booyah, boy. Oh, wow, dude. That's quite a weight loss. I bet you feel much better now. Because I know when I just dropped the 30 pounds. I went from 285 down to 250, 256. I felt a lot better. I'm at 218 now, but that's working hard. I do 22 to 32 miles twice a week on my stationary bike. I work out. I just added some new exercises that are really kicking my, and they're not new. I just added them to what I'm doing. What's up, Spec? Glad you made it back, buddy. Good. Mickey, that's good, man. That's almost 200 pounds. I mean, I don't have to tell you that. I'm just making an observation. Man, I'm enjoying this. What else y'all want to talk about? We've talked about sports, comics, TV, or DC Marvel, TV, diabetes. Oh, Jamal, I agree with you. Spec, I don't know what's going on. They're doing a lot of internet work in our town. They're doing fiber optics, which is pissing me off. I didn't ask for it, but they're doing that. And it seems to be affecting, ever since I started doing that, it seems to be affecting our internet. So I'm not sure if that's the whole reason, but I definitely plan on calling Spectrum and asking them WTF. Jamal, I don't know how old you are, but I promise you, you should do that as soon as possible while you're young, because time flies by. I cannot believe I just turned 58. I don't feel like that. My daughter will be 31 this year. My son will be 27. It flies by. So, yes, it seems to be my internet provider. We've been blaming YouTube, but I don't know that it's them, because normally it goes down around 1:30. I mean 2:30 to 3:30. I do an hour. I've been getting an hour and a half instead of the full 2 hours. I did not see that. Usually, unless it pops up on my TikTok, because I don't watch the news purposely unless there's something that happens locally. I want to see. But I'll make sure I look it up now that you said something. But Jamal, where do I recommend traveling to? Number one on my list is to go back to Germany, because I love, love, love Germany. A very close second is Japan. I love their culture. I've been to Colorado. I've been to Germany. I love both of them. I love. Wow, is the delay that bad? Oh, I'm watching. Hang on a second. I clicked on my live stream, but it's showing me there. Okay, now I'm on the current one. It was showing me the other stream that we shut down. Okay. Colorado's a beautiful place. I have a bunch of friends that live in Colorado. I'm not so big on the atmosphere of the people as a whole. But Colorado visually, land-wise, reminded me a lot of Germany. So did Washington. I haven't been snowboarding in over 30 years. We used to go to Ruidoso, New Mexico. Also a beautiful place. Recommend going there. But we used to go to Ski Apache. Great place to go snowboarding. I've never been snowboarding in Colorado, but like I said, we always went to Ruidoso, New Mexico to Ski Apache. I want to go to London. Oh, Scott, you've been? That's dope, dude. I would like to go to London to see Gary and Brandy, but to see London itself. Australia is on my list. I've never been to Costa Rica, but I heard it's beautiful. Australia is on my list, even though a lot of the animals can kill you. I really want to go there. Me, I lived in Germany for 3 years as a military dependent. When we first got there, we lived in a small farming community called Rootlois. Then we got off-post housing in Troisdorf, and then we spent the rest of our time in on-post housing in Bamberg. But I visit all over Germany. I learned to speak German while I lived there. The Germans treated me fantastic. I love, love, love Germany. I almost moved back there before I met my wife, when I knew I was going to get divorced the second time, which was right when the wall came down. And I call him my uncle, a guy, he retired over there, became a German citizen. And he told me he was not telling me not to come back to Germany, but he said, it's not the country you left. They made a horrible mistake taking down the wall. But I met my wife. Life worked out pretty well. But I definitely want to go visit again. I still have friends in Germany. Yeah, it does look beautiful. Yeah, brats and beer, but I can't do brats now. Actually, I heard they have a meat-free bratwurst, a plant-based bratwurst now. So I would eat that. But yes, I love real German bratwurst and beers while I'm in Germany. They do not taste the same here in the States. I have never found any in the States, even bought from German stores, that taste like what we got in Germany. I would like to visit Italy too, but it's down on my list. Japan is way up there because their culture is so amazing, beautiful. They're amazing people, and I'm sure they have dicks just like all of us do. But overall, the culture. Hey, what's up, man? It has been a while because I can't even remember your name. The FTP part's sticking out, but I don't remember. Sorry that I don't remember, but I'll blame it on old age. I'm an old man. You gotta forgive me, Sonny. During the winter, you don't. Most Germans drink it warm, anyways. In the winter, we kept ours on our balcony, but don't do it on the first floor because it'll disappear. But no, you can leave it outside during the winter. There you go. That looks familiar. I forget not everybody keeps the same namer forever with me. Yeah, I can't do warm beer either. I can almost room temperature I can do, but I cannot do warm beer. Like they have those stingers that they put on them that the Germans will put in during the winter and they'll heat it up. I can't do that. Oh, that'd be nice. I've never been there either, but that looks beautiful. I think China would be beautiful too. It's definitely a different culture, but oh shit. Well, wine is good too. Jamal, I used to, if you look at some of my old videos, I actually had started learning to speak Japanese because my wife wants to go to Hawaii. I'm not so much on that. But I started learning to speak Japanese. I used to do my intro in English and Japanese because the majority of my viewing audience was in Japan. But the Japanese were so polite, they wouldn't tell me what I was saying wrong. And then you have asshole Americans who don't speak Japanese telling me I was saying shit wrong. I can still remember how to do my intro. Yeah. I haven't been to Arizona since I was a little kid. I do have a friend that lives in Arizona. Actually, I think I have a couple of friends, but one for sure, a great friend of mine lives in Arizona. I would go to see him, but I have a lot of friends in Colorado. I've been to Colorado Springs several times to the Garden of the Gods. That's not in Colorado Springs, but I'm saying I've been to Colorado Springs and I've been to the Garden of the Gods. German. Listen, wait, my uncle used to keep his. Oh, his PBR, yes. Oh, yes. Palm Malls and no filters, or Lucky Strike no filters. Yep. Been there, done that. Yeah, spec, and that's what I was going to say about the Germans. The Germans were very polite to me because when I first learned to speak German, I did it with a Southern accent. I talk fast to hide it. I actually have a fairly heavy Southern draw. So when I talk fast, you don't notice it. But when I first started to learn to speak German, I did it with a Southern draw, and they were so polite. But they knew by that I was not German, but I learned to speak their language. So I eventually, when I speak German, I do it without the Southern draw. Jamal's German is a lot like Spanish. They have masculine and feminine, and they rearrange some of the sentences and all that kind of shit. So it's very similar to Spanish in that sense. I've been to some German bars where they do that, but it's not like on all the TV shows. A lot of the ones I went to, everybody just bullshitting, laughing, having a good time. I only went to one German bar where it seemed was very tense. Other than that, it's a real comfortable atmosphere because they're not like us. They're not in there guzzling, looking for a fight. They're in there drinking, enjoying each other's company. It's a very different culture. Let's see, Jamal. My introduction used to be Watashi wa Yokoso Sixx Daze, Watashi wa Bob Six. That's hello. Welcome to Sixx Daze. I am Bob Sixx. All right, Jamal. Have a good man. Peace. Thanks for hanging out and coming back after it shut down. Oh, yeah. Now, soccer, yeah, you kind of got to give them all countries where it's big. You got to kind of give them a pass when soccer's in town. And I don't know that I would go. I never went to any real soccer matches. I played a lot of soccer in Germany, but I don't know that I would go to a match, especially if you don't know what team you're supposed to be rooting for. Hey, Keith, you got distracted by a bandmate reaction. Probably not mine. Thoughts on Donald Trump? You really want to know? I like him. I voted for him. If he ran again, I'd vote for him again. Usually I don't talk about politics on here because it pisses people off. We did one time and it got really heated and uncomfortable, but I fully support Donald Trump and Doge. There you go. Yeah, I prefer somebody who's very open and honest. I don't care how he says it. He's not gonna hurt my feelings. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. I'm not a little candy ass. He said something mean. Sorry you missed the live. What live, Keith? Oh, when you dropped in last time, my internet froze up, so I had to reboot like I had to do the other week. Oh yeah. The only people getting upset are the people that, I mean, in government are the ones that are ripping people off. I agree 100%, Scott. Oh, I know that, Spec. I was just giving an example of how much I support him. But no, I understand the technicalities, the plausibility, but I'm sure it's not going to happen. I'm pretty sure JD will be our next president if things are going well when that time rolls around. I'd like to see JD Vance do 2 terms, then Candace Owens do 2 terms. I'd vote for Candace Owens in a heartbeat. My favorite car I've ever drove is my dream car that I would literally trade my left nut for. 72 Chevelle Super Sport. Love, love, love. That's my all-time favorite car. That being said, I love my car that I have now. The next car, I have a Kia Optima. The next car I buy will be a Kia Stinger because it comes with a 6-cylinder. Spec, I don't listen to a whole lot of what the news says. I mean, they just keep saying shit, trying to keep everybody pissed off. So unless I see Trump say it, but I don't watch a whole lot of the news. So oh, that's a dope car, Mickey. Without a doubt, that is a dope car. They just don't. And when I say they don't, yes, they're starting to make muscle cars again. But, and even though they could be, I think they're just going off of the nostalgia for all of us because there's no way I would pay what they want for the new Chevelle. That is exactly right, Spec. Do not watch the news. That is exactly correct. That's why I don't watch it. It's propaganda. It seems like we had a couple of vehicles with factory 8-track. Not me personally, my parents. I remember we had a Ford pickup that they had went back and put air in because it was under the dash. The entire system was under the dash. It was black. But I like all the old muscle cars, the GTXs, the old Camaros, Trans Ams. And on the Camaros, 79 back. The IROC Zs, they had a place, but I like the old school Camaros. The Dodge Super Bee, even though it and the GTX, they're kind of longer cars than I like, but Bob, my biological father, custom ordered a 70, I think it was a 77. It was orange with white stripes and a camper. Custom ordered it, then he messed it up and ended up selling it. Yeah, Keith, they were, when you look at the prices of those cars back then, you're like, holy shit. But due to the economy, it was basically what they cost now. I mean, as far as what we have to pay, what we're making. Hey, Scott, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you being here, man. Here every Thursday, unless I have a concert to go to. And that's why I wasn't here last week. But I appreciate it, brother. Be safe, man. But yeah, the 69 Camaro, oh my God, what a car. And I like the Novas as well, but the Chevelle Super Sport is my favorite. Not really a big Corvette guy, never have been. I like some of the really old Corvettes, but oh yeah. And you know, they promised him a brand new one for life, and the guy who made him the promise, I guess he retired or died or whatever, and I went, oh no, that deal went with him. Yes, they did. They absolutely did, Keith. But yeah, Smoking the Bandit, that did worlds of good for the Trans Am, especially the black and gold one. I wanted one of those so bad. And then when I got older, I went, I'm good. I mean, because the bottom line is it is a Pontiac. Now, granted, the GTOs were dope, but never had a lot of luck with Pontiacs. I was raised Ford, but I preferred Chevy. And now I only buy foreign cars. I mean, my Optima is fully loaded. I've never had a car this loaded. And I bought it for half of what I could buy an American car for. And I don't have problems out of it. So that's a huge plus for me too. Oh, wow. That is true, Mickey. That is true. But the last Chevy I owned pissed me off so bad. I had a friend that had a Sunbird. I almost fell for it and bought a Fiero when they first came out. I thought that was a dope looking vehicle, but they were pieces of shit. There's been a few odd cars. The Pontiac, oh, what's that car called? They've got a sporty little car now that I thought I wanted one. Is it something fire? Not Spitfire. Why have I got that stupid thing stuck in my head? Crossfire? Is that what it's called? You saw one yesterday? Oh, cool. uh, I remember Nissan before it was Nissan, before they called it Nissan. Oh, remember the Yugos when they came out? Affordable vehicle. It was affordable, all right. That little 3-cylinder. Hyundai. Yeah, Datsun. Yep. That is correct. I guess my favorite part about my Kia is they replaced the engine, so I have a brand new engine in it. They said that they would. When they wouldn't tell me what it was, but they said, "Well, what happens happens. You call us and we'll take care of it." And they did. True to their word. So I've got a 2013 Kia Optima with a brand new engine in it. Well, it's almost 2 years old now, but I can't complain. Didn't cost me a dime. I mean, the engine. Hey, Deidre, been a whole minute. How you doing? I mean, I know we recently saw you, but I wasn't here last week. Motorcycles, I prefer Kawasaki's, Suzuki than Honda. I'm not a Harley guy. Never have been. Are you? Yeah, I'm sorry. I still have you in my positive thoughts every day. Whenever I see my DMs, you're in the top of the thing because it shows you everybody that's online. Oh, Peugeot, what a piece of crap. Yeah, I was a foreign car mechanic for 2 years. There was a guy who had a Renault Fuego. It's a Renault that we call them disposable cigarette lighters. They're not worth fixing. Um, yeah, I don't think you gave me all the details on it, Deidre. I knew it was something about that, but I know it sucks, and sometimes it don't happen, but you got to try. And I know it's a battle. Uh, but this Fuego, and it had a turbo. He spent so much money bringing it back to us, bringing it back to us, bringing it back to us, bringing us back to us, bringing it back to us. We finally got tired of him bringing it back, and we took it to a guy in Austin that's called Dr. Peugeot. Said, if he can't fix it, dude, you're just screwed. But it was a piece of garbage. Anyways, but having a turbo on it compounded it. Oh, well, I guess that would, Deidre, that would make a difference, in my opinion. A Barchetta, I think. Oh, wow. Well, you know how to reach me. I think I've seen the Barchetta. My mom had, I think she had one. I think she had I think it was No, not a Plymouth State. What was that piece of shit? Multiple surgeries. Damn. Must have messed it up bad. I had a friend completely tore his rotor cuff out, and they fixed it with one surgery, but it took him forever to get back into. Was that a Horizon that she had? It was a station wagon, a light blue station wagon. Maybe it wasn't a Horizon. What the hell was that car called? Oh, I'm sure it does, Keith. My wife had carpal tunnel surgery done, and it only lasted a short time. Hey, we had a Pinto wagon when they first came out, and then when they started blowing up, Bob took it back and got a different one. It was the ugliest car ever. And I had a shit brown Ford Pinto runabout that I loved. I actually put shackles on it. I took some rims off of what was that? I worked at a junkyard at the time. I can't remember what car it was, but I forced the rims onto my Pinto. Man, and I cut out in the seat. I put speakers in the seat, and I had two big ass stereo speakers on the back. I had a great stereo. You could hear me coming from a mile away. Oh, I remember Mavericks. I had a relative that had one. I can't remember which relative it was. I had a relative that had a Gran Torino. It was an odd green color. That was a pretty dope car. Remember the Gremlins? The AMC Pacer? I guess the Gremlin was like the sportier version of it. I like the logo. That was my main thing. Deidre, is the surgeries on your arm from an injury, or is there a different issue? The Nash Rambler, yep. I had a Duster. I loved it. A 74 Duster. I ended up selling it. I had an Opel Manta, which is a German Opel. I had a 72 Super Beetle. I loved it. 72 or 3 Ford F-150, I think it was. It was brown. I don't know what the hell it is with me and brown cars. Chevy Cavalier. It was blue. A red Nissan pickup truck. An 88 Chevy S10, a 98 Chevy S10, a Nissan, my Mazda 6S, I loved it. Volare. Volare. I remember those. Remember when they put out the Volare Roadrunner? They only put them out for a couple of years. Almost all of them were orange. So it wasn't really a Roadrunner. They just put the Roadrunner shit on it to sell them. Did Deidre already leave? My Mazda 6S was one of my favorite cars. I thought, I bought a Trans Am in the 80s when I was selling. I didn't keep it long. It got repossessed. Yes, Girl Scout cookies for sure. Mickey pays attention. He gets a star by his name for the day. um, I didn't really care for the 80 model Novas. Because I didn't really feel like they were Novas. I've always liked Cadillac. I've never owned one, but I've always liked Cadillacs. I like the late 70, early 80 model Cadillacs, those big old boats. I like them. But I also like the new ones. I often think if I stumbled across one, I might buy it. But I like Cadillacs. But I've never owned one. Oh, hell yeah, Mickey. Absolutely. Either black on black or black with the white racing stripe down the middle. Oh. Toyota Corolla. Yeah, that's about right, Keith. It was weird. 3 different car companies put out the exact same car. They all came from the Canadian plant. But 3 different companies put them out, and they had 3 different names, but you could tell it was the exact same car. It was my brother had one. Oh, it's a nice car. Shit, what the hell is the name of that car? If I could even think of one of the names, the other 2 names would fall in place. But they were the exact same car. There was no difference other than the badges put on the car. The Mitsubishi Eclipse, I believe Plymouth had one that they put out, but it's the exact same car. The Eclipse, I'm going to have to Google it. Come on, memory. Oh, shit, I got to look at the time. I forgot the time's different. The Talon, yes. Yep, the Eclipse, the Talon, and there was one more company that put it out, but all 3 are the exact same car. And oddly enough, one outsold the other 2, and I think is still around or recently got discontinued, but it outlasted the other 2. But yes, my brother had the Talon. And I always wanted an Eclipse. I wanted an Eclipse. I never bought one, but man, I don't want to Google it. I feel like such a dumbass. Oh, my mom's been messing me. The Aries, that's what my mom had. Yes. Oh, I forgot all about that, Mom. He's not here now, but yes, we did go to Austria. And Austria is beautiful. You could see me in a Pacer. Well, you have quite the imagination there, young man. Yeah, the Talon did not last long. My mom's car that I was talking about was an Aries station wagon. Piece of shit. All right, let's see. Plymouth Laser. The Plymouth Laser. I knew there was a Plymouth. So yes, the Plymouth Laser, the Eagle Talon, the Chrysler Eagle Talon, and the Mitsubishi Eclipse. Those were all three the same car. No. Grandmaster Station Wagon. Wow. When I read it the first time, I was like, well, that don't make any sense. But yes, I solved the mystery on the second read. That would be an adventure to go for a Grandmaster station wagon. Hey, Alex, what's up, buddy? Oh, my goodness. Yes, I know that's sexy. I think that's why I do it once a thing. I am outstanding, dude. I could not be much better. If I did, I'd think they would charge me money. I'm fantastic. Uber awesome. Yeah, I had watched a documentary once, and there was a lot of car companies that were doing it. The exact same car rolling off of the same production line, and there was a guy that just slapped different emblems on them. You got to know, Todd, I did too. But I showed y'all it. 22 now. When Savannah gets old enough, we're both going to go get a matching tattoo. She likes the song Pretty Fly for a White Guy. You're 22 now, not 22 tats. You'll be okay. Oh, you got 22 tats? Okay. You're throwing me off. Trying to rapid fire what you're saying. Breathe deep. Type slow, we jumper. We're going to go see 38 Special in Kansas on the 12th. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, most of my tats, I guess, no. I mean, they take up like my whole forearm. So I guess I can't say they're all small. But I do have a bunch of small ones. Thanks, dude. There were several cars in the 80s. Only difference was the engine that was, yeah, that's true too. But yeah, I mean, you could get in those cars and you go, this is the same freaking car. And a lot of them were garbage because in the 80s, they were just slamming it to us because we were all going hog wild. Oh, wow, my arm looks brown. That was just a shadow, just so y'all know. I don't look like I'm trying to flex. Yes, that is true. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fish bowl. Most of those cars were 6 cylinders or 4 cylinder. 4 cylinder and 6 cylinder. Okay, this is my dad's. It says dad, his birth and death date. And then this says Jeff, my best friend since I was 12 years old, his birth and death date. I was originally going to get this for me and him because the song Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd always reminds me of him. But I wanted to honor my dad too. So I got my dad's birth and death date. So they're the two lost souls in the fishbowl. It's hard watching the camera moving my hand the way it's supposed to move. But yeah, so that's what that's about. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl. Hey, I hope nobody drops in right now and they're like, what the is this guy doing? um, Mickey, here's something about, or Keith, since you said 6 cylinders. Um, a lot of people buy 6 cylinders for vehicles that are made to have 8 cylinders. That's not strong enough. So they end up spending more money on gas than they would if they just bought the 8 cylinder. They put 4 cylinders in cars that need 6 cylinders. Like my Mazda 6 had a 6 cylinder, which was the perfect size engine. I was getting 38 miles to the gallon with that. They also had a 4 cylinder model. That one don't get the same gas mileage. My car that I have right now needs a 6 cylinder, which is why when I replace it, I'm going to get a Kia Stinger and it'll come with a 6 cylinder. So that'll be the right size motor for that body. So my gas mileage should be better. A lot of people don't think about it. I had a friend who had a Ford pickup with the 6 cylinder in it, and he was bitching about how much money it cost him to pull his boat. It's because the truck's underpowered as it is, and then you're going to add the boat to it. So he doesn't do that now. He has a nice 8 cylinder to tow his boat. Did I freeze again? No, I didn't freeze. Okay. I mean, I'm glad the AC kicked on because I was getting kind of hot. Still trying to get used to my new phone. Don't tell me my thumbnail doesn't match. Does match. that had to be entertaining. See Shaq get in a smart car. I think he barely fits in a regular car. I really miss. Oh, hey. Oh, man. Hang on, I got to respond to him. Oh, damn it. Sorry, my buddy from Germany sent me a message, so I had to respond to him. Yeah, I think he was reacting. He was commenting on the one I had to restart. All right, so what I was going to say was I really like the carbureted engines, but I preferred 4-barrel. But my 88 S10 had a the throttle body, so it was basically a carburetor, but single. They call it a throttle body, but single fuel injection worked like a carburetor. I liked that a lot. But I guess I'm okay with my multi-port fuel injection that I have now. But as far as having a muscle car, I definitely want it carbureted. I prefer that. I know it guzzles gas, but I feel it delivers better, more reliable. I think the old school cars without all this computer shit were better anyways. And I bet it was a lot of trouble to get Shaq in and out of a smart car. Be a lot like Bubba Smith in Police Academy, where they had to remove the seat so he could sit in the back seat. Yes, back when you could work on your own car. When you replaced your radiator, you did not have to remove the entire front end. When you replaced your headlights, you didn't have to remove the entire front end. They did that shit to try to make you take it in. I refuse. I will. When the radiator busted in my Mazda 6S, I have pictures of it. I took the weekend off from work. I had to remove the entire front end. And not only did I have to remove the entire front end, when you put it back together, I'll say it in just a second. I don't want to lose my train of thought. Um, when you put it back together, you have to put the sensor for the airbag in a certain spot in a certain order. If you skip that order, you forget to put it on, you have to remove all that other shit and put it on in the correct order. It will not go no matter what. The ducks and the Jeeps, that's a Jeep thing. I'm not a Jeep guy. The manager at one of my jobs, she's explained it to me, and I still don't get it. I don't know if it's because I glaze over because I'm not a Jeep guy, but I don't know. I just know it's a Jeep thing. She even told me how it started. I guess because I'm not a Jeep guy. If she told me if she had put guitars or music into it somehow, I probably would remember, but I don't remember. But it's a Jeep thing. That's all I can tell you, Keith. It's a Jeep thing. Oh, that don't surprise me, Mickey. They wanted 1,200, which is why I did my own radiator. Like I said, I was a foreign car mechanic for 2 years. I'm perfectly capable of working on cars. I just don't like to anymore. Once you have it as a job, I mean, I grew up working on cars, but once you have it as a job, it's not so much fun. But I'll be damned if I pay someone $1,200 to replace my radiator that costs, I think it was like 110. No, that's not going to happen. I have to replace the rear wheel hub assembly on my car right now. They want $330, so over $200 in labor. Guess who's going to change it? Depending on where I get it, up to $130 for the part. I found it lower than that, but up to 130. So I'm not paying you $200 labor to do something that takes you less than half an hour. It says I was a mechanic. I know they probably don't use a book anymore. They probably just look at a computer. But back in my day, we had a book, and whatever the book said, hour-wise is what it took. That's what we charged you. And most of the jobs I could do in less than an hour. But yeah, it's insane what they charge to work on cars now. And I don't even go to the dealer. I go to my friend. I support him as much as I can, but I'm not paying that much for the hub assembly to be replaced. I love him to death. I've known him since he was 17. There's just no way in hell I'm paying that much. Well, I mean, I guess if I went blind, I wouldn't have any choice. But I know that's not happening anytime soon. Damn, did everybody leave? The hell? I have to watch the monitor to see if I froze up because here I'm not frozen. But like earlier when it froze, this was working fine, but I had to look over here at this monitor. That's why I keep that on so I know when I freeze. Yeah, hopefully it don't happen while I'm driving. La, 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 la. Ah! But fortunately, they've got the braille lines along the highway now, so you can at least tell when you're getting over. Of course, you don't know if anybody's beside you, but they'll figure it out. You got 27 minutes left. That's how much better my eyes are. I can actually read the clock on my phone and on my computer. Trailer mechanic. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I know. Isn't that weird? There's braille. There's braille on my steering wheel of my car. Just on the steering wheel. I've always thought it was weird that the ATMs had braille on them. At my work, at my Walmart job, where you cannot work if you have certain, well, you couldn't work there blind, but there's Braille on all the signs, all the bathroom signs. There's Braille on all of them. You can't work there if you're blind. It's not discrimination. You can't do the job. That's what they say. I would never put curb fillers on my car under any circumstance. I think they look stupid. I understand they serve a purpose. I think they look stupid. I've never even considered putting them on my car. Not to mention, when I was a kid, one of my favorite things to do is play that little springy thing to keep the door from smashing into the wall. That's what I think about curb fillers. So I guess if I had those on my car, I would just lay beside my car when I was bored and the delay's not too bad. Color doesn't look bad. I look all right. That's the most important part for me, to say I look all right. Next week, I gotta go get this looked at. My doctor doesn't think it's cancer. I don't show any markers for cancer, but I gotta get that spot looked at. So yes, I do know that's there. I asked about some of these old age spots. Oh, wrong side. Age spots too. And that shit I don't like. I'm going to ask them, since they're dermatologists, if this ain't cancer and they can't fix it, if I get it tattooed over with skin color, would it be okay? My daughter already said she wouldn't do that, but thought about any of those age spots, just getting them tattooed over, because whatever would have to be better than having big brown spots. I mean, I won't dye my hair. With silver doesn't bother me. I'm okay with it, but I don't like those age spots, or whatever the hell they call them, liver spots, age spots. I don't like that shit. It sounds like Savannah may be home from school. I wonder what we're going to do today. No, she does not like face tattoos. And as a tattoo artist, she won't do them. The closest she'll get, I think she's done a couple of neck tattoos, small ones. She won't do big ones. But no, she's got boundaries that she won't cross. Hell, it took me 2 years to talk her into doing that, because she said it was stupid. And it may be stupid, but I like it. It took me 2 years to talk her into writing my new doing a tattoo that says my new tattoo. Yeah, I'm not a face tattoo guy. I mean, and I've never seen one that where I went, oh, that's kind of cool, ever. But to each their own. I'm not here to judge anybody. Yeah, I've seen that one several times, Mickey. That's kind of funny, on the back of his head where it looks like the guy's mowing his hair. Yeah. I still don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do any head I can't do anything above this. There's just no way. I only have one tattoo on my hand, which I worked on removing, but as a hard rule, I got that when I was really young, but as a hard rule, nothing below my wrist. I got that out of a antique store. I like that. Y'all know I collect watches, right? Oh, my camera's effing up. So, no, y'all can't see it because I'm blurry. And it's not me, it's the camera. Stupid piece of shit. Hopefully it'll straighten up. Or not. Is it hot? It's not hot. Hey, it's straightened up. Anyways, that's my antique store watch. Got 3 watches from my dad. I got a watch that I didn't know I had that's actually kind of expensive. I don't even know where it came from. I just found it in a box. That's two things I collect: watches. Oh, three things: watches, money, and rocks. I try to get people to send me rocks all the time. Nobody send me rocks. People tell me, "Oh, I'll send you a rock." Not one person sent me a rock. People when they go places, my friends that I know when they go places, they bring me rocks back. I've got rocks from all over. Got a rock from a historic place I'm not allowed to say on camera. You know, I've always wore watches, but I've never been a watch guy. But what was it? 6 or 7 months ago, I really got into watches. So I'm always on the lookout for some dope watches. I look at antique stores. I haven't been to any estate sales yet, but I mean, I've been to estate sales, but I wasn't collecting watches then. Am I froze? My dad loved pocket watches too. He had a collection of them. You would think I collect knives. I have knives all oddly enough, not in here as we've discussed before. Oddly enough, I don't have any in here. I have them everywhere else in my house. There's almost no place you can get me where I don't have a knife. Oh, I don't have any in the bathroom. Really close to the bathroom. So if I could just fight my way through the bathroom door, they're done. But yeah, I have a lot of knives. Yeah, yeah, I trust y'all, but I don't know who all's watches, so or who will watch the replay and be like, yeah, Megan, my dad collected pocket watches. I don't have any of those. I just have his 3 wrist watches that he had. I'm kind of particular about the bands, and his are those bands that I'm saying elastic for lack of a better word, but they're metal, but they're the stretchy kind. That's that kind of uncomfortable on my wrist. So I'm not real big on those. My dad collected antique tools as well. There's a whole bunch out in his shop. Um, I used to collect albums, and divorce number one, I lost almost all of them. Oddly enough, she did not keep. I still have Def Leppard High and Dry that I stole from my first DJing job in 1985. Uh, they had 2 of them, but I still have that. I have my original Poison Open Up and Say Aw album because they had put out right away that they were going to censor it, which they did. But I ran out and bought one as soon as they released it. And I have an Iron Maiden album that's a limited edition. The album itself is blood red, and I have some old country albums from my dad. Oh, and I think I have Wild Dogs. There's a band called Wild Dogs, and they have a song called The Evil in Me. That's the only song I like from them, but I bought the album for that song. It's about child abuse. So I could definitely relate to the song. Me and Savannah are going to be on a radio show next Monday. Just a little, we're going to go get a tour of the station, pick up some merch, and I think they're going to have me play a game online or on the show. Oh, that's cool. I'm guessing you meant Freemason symbol and autocorrect thought you meant simple. See, I'm pretty good at solving that because autocorrect screws me over a lot. Or predictive text. Yeah. See, man, I'm good at that. Man, we're down to 16 minutes. Oh, wow, dude. I loved Porter Wagner, but Porter Wagner from Japan. I had a Kiss album called Killers. It was a greatest hits album, but I got the German version of it that had 4 previously unreleased songs on it, and they were really good songs. I think one of them was called Partners in Crime, but I really liked that. I was like, why didn't they release that shit here? I used to buy everything Kiss put out, even that shitty album, The Elders, Music of the Elders. That was, ugh. I don't know who talked them into that, but God. Me and my cousin were just talking about that. I really like old Kiss. Now they have newer songs that I like, but as far as overall, I liked early Kiss because it was simple. It wasn't really metal. It was just kind of rock. Oh, really? I see. I liked Ace and Paul's. Um, Paul has a song called "Hold Me, Touch Me" that I really liked, and "Move On." Those are my favorite 2 songs off his album. Peter Criss, I liked. Um, I liked a couple of his songs. Gene Simmons, I liked a couple of his songs, but overall, I didn't like the whole albums. Uh, I didn't like the whole album of Paul Stanley's. I don't think I like the whole albums of any of them, but I preferred Ace's than Paul's. But see, I really liked the album Unmasked, and not many people I know did. I liked Dynasty. A lot of people wrote Dynasty off because of I Was Made for Loving You, but there's some dope songs on Dynasty. Charisma, Hard Living, 2000 Man. 2000 Man is really good. That I guess Charisma. Oh, and Sure Know Something. I really liked Sure Know Something. I think Sure Know Something, 2000 Man, and Charisma are probably tied for my favorite songs off that album. Oh, I had a misprinted Judas Priest album. Uh, Whenever I was into a band, I bought everything they put out. I had bought a Judas Priest album. It was actually Hellbent for Leather, but they mistitled it. And this record store I went into, this guy was like, dude, that's got to be worth a lot of money. So when I was going to go see Kiss on an Animalized tour, I took him and sold him a bunch of my records, and I accidentally had that Judas Priest record in there, and he did not say a word to me. Bought it, and when I went back, he was like, "Nope, it was in there. You must have meant to sell it. I paid it fair and square." Like, all right, I got you now, buddy. So that was my bad. But yeah, I learned there was a guy that Kiss actually hired. He collected uh, Kiss albums that were misprints. Yes, New York Groove was a remake. He didn't really change it up that much. I mean, I do prefer his version of it, but yeah, New York Groove was a remake. There's two of Heart's biggest hits are remakes, and people didn't know that. I did that on that video. What's better, the original or the covers? They're both on those. Uh, Joan Jett's "I Love Rock and Roll" is a cover. Cyndi Lauper's "Girls Just Want to Have Fun's a cover. Um, the Lick It Up album. I'm sorry, I just saw that, Mickey. Yes, "Piece of My Heart" is a cover. Aretha Franklin's younger sister released it almost a full year before um, 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 Janis Joplin did, but she didn't chart with it. Janis Joplin did. Mickey, I liked Lick It Up. There's some pretty good songs on there. I like Creatures of the Night. Uh, there's actually some off of all of Kiss's albums. Kiss is not a great band, but because I liked them so much growing up, their music kind of timestamps years of my life. It's like John Mellencamp. I hated him. I always said I hated him, but when I listen to him now, there's timestamps. Same thing with the Police. There's timestamps. Keith, I've always liked Van Halen, but and it's pissed a lot of people off. I prefer Van Halen with Sammy Hagar. They were a much better band, much better music, but I do like a lot of the old Van Halen stuff. Yeah, Mickey, I'll go with that. I think Kiss Alive was better than the Destroyer album. But there were some gems hidden in all of their albums. There were songs that were never released, and hardly nobody ever talks about them. And I'm like, that was a damn good song. But a lot of people shit on Van Hagar, but they were just a better band, period. And Sammy can actually sing. I know people that praise Dave. Dave is an entertainer and an extremely large. No, if I say that, it sounds like I'm complimenting him. I'm not complimenting him when I say that he's a big one. He is a big one. I'm not saying he has a big one. He is a big one. Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And here's something I don't know if y'all find this interesting or not. See, I don't like Paul Stanley, but I've gotten a lot of good life advice from Paul Stanley that I implemented into my life and I use. Same thing with David Lee Roth. I watched him on the Joe Rogan podcast, and I watched the entire thing. I just saw a clip which piqued my interest, and then I watched the entire interview. Even though he's phony as you can be, he gave some good life advice. Some of the first life advice I took from Paul Stanley, and I've implemented it immediately, and I still use it to this day. I saw I when I say I saw it, it popped up on my home screen. I did not watch it. I've seen bands destroy hotel rooms, but I've actually been in the room when bands have destroyed hotel rooms and left immediately because I was like, what'd you do that for? Because they called the cops. They called and said, you were warned. So I had to get out of there because I was holding at the time. And I didn't want to be there when the cops showed up because I looked like the guy who was holding. But Paul Stanley, in an interview, they asked him, what do you think about people that don't like you? He said, I don't. I have too many people that care about me to worry about those people. If someone doesn't like me, no matter what I do, they probably will never like me. So trying to make them like me is a waste of time, and it takes away from the people who do like me. So I don't do that. I don't try to make anybody like me. Ted Nugent is a weird guy, but despite his weirdness, he is a solid individual. He does he lives just 20 miles north of me, or a little over 20 miles north of me. He does a lot of charity work, a lot of charity work. So yes, he is weird, but a lot of artists, be it musician, painter, actor, they are weird. They're different, and that is what makes them be good at what they do. And I know I've told y'all that letter right up there, that's from Ted Nugent. I made him that pen. He didn't have to write me that letter, but he did. See, that screws my hand up. That letter right there from him, from the desk of Ted Nugent. Got guitar picks in it, but he wrote me and wished me and my family Merry Christmas. He didn't have to do that. He answers all of his own fan mail. He does not have anybody do it. If you want something autographed from Ted Nugent, you send him a letter, a blank page, a self-addressed stamped envelope. You send it to him. He'll sign it and send it back to you. Or if you want a picture signed, you send it with self-addressed envelope because he won't mail it. He won't take his own dime to mail it back, which I don't blame him. But he answers all of his own fan mail, which is rare because not everybody does that. So yeah, he's a weird dude, but I like him. Always have. Oh shit, we're almost done. We got 5 minutes, guys. And people just now showing up for the very end. Sorry. If you got a question, hurry up and ask. I'll see if I can answer it. Or if you got a comment. Or if you just got something you want to get off your chest, say it. Even if it's, I just dropped in to tell you I hate you, Bob. It's okay. As long as you're here, that's all that matters. If you're going to hate me, give it a thumbs up. I mean, it's fair trade. It's all about balance. Oh, I ran 2 people off. Who does that guy think he is? Huh. Still hurts where I cut myself with my damn razor. Told you I went back to use an old school razor. Oh, wow. I think I cut myself pretty good. Still working out the kinks. That's funny. Somebody dropped in, left immediately. Damn, that's still that guy. Well, you clicked on the link or you clicked on the picture. Huh. Guess somebody's going to talk? We got 4 minutes. Got nothing to say? I really got to pee. I'm trying to make it to 4 more minutes. But Keith, I will go check that out if you're still here, unless you're one of the ones that left. Oh, dude, it's just now healed up. You can still barely see it. I hooked myself with that razor and I kept cutting the scab off. I was like, I'll either reshape my chin to where I won't hit it no more, or I'll get it figured out. I got it figured out. And when I cut that bad boy, that thing bled. And I mean hard. I got a few spots on the side of my face that I keep cutting the scabs off of. No, I can't do that, dude. I've tried. Well, I had a beard once when I was 22. When I let facial hair grow out, I started getting a bunch of infected hairs, and I had plucked a bunch out and had like a dime-sized bald spot. I think I have a picture somewhere of when I had the beard. That's cool, Keith. I appreciate that. We got 3 minutes. I've said if I go bald, I need to figure it out. But if I go bald, I'll grow a goatee because white guys should not be bald with no facial hair. But I know I can't do a full beard. I don't like that. I want to grow one of them big scruffy things, just a nice tight goatee. If I go bald. And I know it looks like I'm going bald. I'm not. I've had a 5 head my entire life. I measure my head all the time and it's not grown. This finger touches my eyebrows. It's been that way my entire life. When I had long hair, you couldn't really tell it. But since I keep my hair short, it's easier to spot. But been that way my whole life. Now, the nickel that I used to have on the back of my head is more like a $50 now. But we'll see. I will not be that guy that has the horseshoe. Wow. Yeah, most of the guys I know that have beards love them, and they've had them forever, and they can't imagine not having them. But I can't do it. I agree with that one. It makes me look older. First off, I enjoy people not being able to look at me and tell how old I am. Even with the gray hair, people miss by at least 10 years. Oh shit, I gotta wind it down. All right, guys, I appreciate you so much, especially since you had to come back after I had a reboot. I appreciate it. I will be back next Thursday to do it again. And then the week after that, I'll tell you how 38 Special of Kansas went. But y'all take care. Have a great week. And I'll see you next week. Same Bob time, same Bob channel. Peace.